I asked the less capable GPT, Shangcheng style, 3D 2 gigabytes of memory. It can be used to install HomeAssistant Smart Home. Because installing the unbound system itself takes up about 300 to 500 megabytes of memory. If you use Docker to install it, it also idly occupies about 300 to 500 megabytes of memory. Plus, installing EHP Home with Docker takes about 100 to 200 megabytes. Overall, it uses about 1 gigabyte to 1.5 gigabytes of memory. There are still about 500 megabytes of memory available for other uses or for some data redundancy processing. Next, let's take a look at my device. Let me switch the screen. This is my current one, an idle Shangcheng Pi 3D. The model has 2 gigabytes of memory and I've installed a 128 gigabyte solid state drive in it for storage. Let's take a look at my other devices. Since I just moved into this room, I haven't decided how to organize everything yet. This is a small x86 mini PC that I use for some audio and video tasks. I deploy services related to audiobooks, ebooks, and games on it. You can think of it as an entertainment server used for decoding, encoding, and large capacity storage. And for some services that can't be installed on ARM architecture, I just run them on this x86 machine. But for example, there's also this one here, an Orange Pi 3B with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of SSD storage. This card-sized server is what I use to store my documents. It's basically a data server for my personal documents, my important receipts, my CDN file storage, and some other things, including LexCode. All-in-one Office suites, as well as other image processing services, are all currently running on this server, ensuring seamless access for users. This is the Atos S, which I use for networking. It handles unified network management. It can be used for things like proxy services or ad blocking. So the only one left is the one I just mentioned. Why do I use this RGB server? First, because it's low power. You can even run it with a Raspberry Pi and a power bank. Yeah, it's pretty compact, so I can take it with me anytime. Third, since the ARM services are deployed with Docker, it's easy to migrate them to a Raspberry Pi later on. That's the advantage it offers. All right, that's all for today. Just a brief introduction to what I'll be doing next. As for the process, I'll document it when I actually perform the operations. Here's my current plan. In the last episode, I used an SG90 servo to push and pull this door lock. For the devices I've chosen, I now plan to standardize on HomeAssistant with ESP Home so I can use MQTT for communication. I'll use it to connect some sensors like a door sensor and then use HomeAssistant to control the rotation of my servo. This also includes some potted plants and greenery that I'll be growing next. Things like soil moisture, light, and so on. And also statistics like temperature. Let's take a look outside. This is the third day of the potted plants. This one is celery. This one is green onion. This one is lettuce, which hasn't sprouted yet. Alright, that's it for today's video.